This is the best disaster film I've seen in recent years. Absolutely none. There is such a beautiful girl in the world. Jack was directly stunned. Girls with closed eyes and red lips, beautiful posture, make Jack's eyes refuse to leave for a moment. This is their first appearance. They fell in love at first sight. Mutual admiration. After spending some time together, the girl voluntarily proposed marriage to Jack. Actually, it's not that Jack doesn't want it, but because he has a special profession. Marriage also requires the consent of the superior. After Jack caught up and explained, the two finally set their wedding date on May the 4th. Unexpectedly, the next morning, Jack's Coast Guard received a distress message. The boss is busy mobilizing personnel to carry out search and rescue tasks. Didn't respond to Jack's proposal for engagement. Meanwhile, there is also a fully loaded T2 cruise ship sailing hard in the storm. Huge waves tens of meters high could engulf this giant cruise ship at any time. The chief engineer is reporting to the captain. He was worried that last month's hull welds would not be able to withstand the surging waves, and requests the captain to slow down the journey. Otherwise, once the weld seam cracks, the consequences will be unimaginable. But the captain did not take his advice. But it hasn't been a while yet. A huge wave stirred up the bow of the ship, falling heavily again. The welding area also made a strange noise under the beating of the huge waves. The crew also had a premonition. Don't slow down again. This weld seam is sure to burst. The chief engineer can only contact the captain again to explain the situation, but by now everything was too late. Another huge wave rolled up the bow of the ship. Heavy impact. This collision directly threw the crew into midair. At the same time, the weld is also being impacted. Directly exploding, the engine room begins to flood heavily with water. The chief engineer calmly and decisively opened the drainage device. He attempted to contact the captain to clarify the situation, but it's no longer possible to dial. Hence, he asked a crew member to inform the captain of the situation. However, when this crew member arrived on deck, but seeing scenes that he would never see in his life, the entire ship has been severed in two due to the impact just now, and the first half of the captain's position was engulfed by seawater in front of him, sinking into the seabed. A few hours have passed in a blink of an eye. Everyone is filled with despair. They don't know if the captain sent out a distress signal at the last moment. If no one finds them, there is only a dead end waiting for them. Although the isolation board protects the rear fuel tank and cabin, but the air stored in the loading compartment can keep the ship afloat for up to 4 or 5 hours. The experienced chief engineer immediately analyzed the current situation. Currently, the engine and drainage pump are still functioning properly, but the cracks cause too much water to enter the engine compartment. Once the sea water submerges the engine, they will lose power. The drainage pump will also stop working. By then, they really only have the fate of a sunken ship. The only way out at present is to create a manual fall. Control ship navigation. Find the nearby shoal. Grounding a ship. This can slow down the speed of water entering the cabin. There will be enough time to wait for rescue. The captain immediately organized personnel to lift the channel steel and make chopped cakes. With the efforts of everyone, finally control the hull, but the bald head told the chief engineer. Some people even want to put down their lifeboats to escape their lives. The chief engineer is well aware of such bad weather. Lower the lifeboat. It's like dying in vain. So he picked up the guy, cut the lifeline of the lifeboat directly. After the lifeboat disengages, instantly torn apart by the waves. Everyone is both scared and grateful. Everyone is currently in danger. Only by working together, only then can miracles occur. The chief engineer immediately gives the order. 4 people each will be responsible for the water pump and the rudder. 2 people in charge, continuously blowing the ship's whistle for help. 3 people searching for a shallow beach on the deck. Others form a relay team. Upload messages from deck to engine room. Everyone take their positions. Fighting against death. Soon, the arrangement of the chief engineer played a role. A fisherman living by the sea. In a faint voice it seemed to hear the whistle of a ship calling for help. He immediately told the news to Jack, who was patrolling the seaside. According to the fisherman's description, this uninterrupted whistling is a distress signal, so he immediately reported the news to the upper echelons. Within a day, 2 ships are in danger. This can't shock the boss, but all their rescue ships went to rescue another ship. After the boss thought for a moment, command Jack to drive a small rescue boat to rescue. Everyone knows it well. This will be a deadly rescue, but Jack still agreed to go to sea. A few kind-hearted fishermen advised Jack to take a walk around the bay and show off. It's possible that going out in this weather may not have arrived at the scene yet, has already been engulfed by seawater, not to mention crossing the sandbar, the harsh environment of sandbars. It is the existence that makes all those who go to sea afraid of the wind. Jack knows the kindness of the fisherman, but if he wears a military uniform he can't just play it by ear, only go all out. Finally, under Jack's infection, how many colleagues are willing to follow him to rescue? They have all made sufficient psychological preparations. This is their glorious mission, but it's also possible that there's no return. Meanwhile, the water level inside half the ship is almost submerged. Fortunately, the crew on deck discovered the submarine ahead. This undoubtedly shows everyone hope for life, so the crew immediately conveyed the heading coordinates and speed down. Everyone is fully focused. Transmit the message verbatim to the engine room, because this is about the lives of all staff. Slight error, they may miss the show. Final silence. With the efforts and cooperation of everyone, finally, the course was aimed at the show, but never expected. A huge wave suddenly struck again. The huge waves have put everyone's efforts to waste. They lost their work. Chief engineer, urgently slow down and close the valve. Stop boosting, then use the iron chain to pull the hull of the ship. Another weapon was launched. He needs to use the power of the waves to change direction. Push them to the shallows. Fortunately, under the command and operation of the chief engineer, they successfully ran aground in the shallows. On the other side, Jack and others are about to enter the sandbar. He reported the environment to his superiors, but the boss order is to let them continue their search through the sandbar. Jack had to grit his head and continue moving forward. The convective weather in sandbars is unusually turbulent during storms. They can only alleviate their inner fear by singing. Soon, they have ushered in the first wave of sand tyrants test. Two crew members guide each other at the bow of the ship. Mutual attraction. Jack pushed the joystick to increase the horsepower, heading upstream against the huge waves, although we have crossed the first wave, but the compass was lost as a result. Subsequently, he relied on his superb experience, driving a small boat through one huge wave after another. He's like a giant whale in the sea, dancing gracefully in the towering waves, sometimes shuttled through the wind and waves, sometimes integrated with the sea, and then through the water curtain, breaking through the waves. They actually managed to cross the sandboard. Several people looked at each other with incredulous expressions. This seems to have created a miracle, but they lost the compass. The sky's eyes quickly darkened, trying to find the wrecked cruise ship. It's like a real-life version of looking for a needle in a haystack. Even worse, they have also lost contact with the police force now, and in the storm, there were snowflakes mixed with multiple pressures and fears. They didn't choose to give up, but with only one firm belief in mind: find the wrecked ship and carry out rescue operations. And the wrecked half of the cruise ship ultimately failed to withstand the surging sea water, causing engine water ingress, cabin power outage. Their desire to survive and all their efforts, trampled mercilessly by the storm. Everyone seems to have resigned, waiting for the verdict of death, and Jack's side is undergoing a long search. Finally, discovered half of the cruise ship. But the cruise ship was pitch black, like a ghost ship, causing fear in people's hearts. Soon, the crew discovered them, and they all came to the deck one after another. The appearance of Jack and others is like the arrival of a heavenly god, gave them hope. This moment is so inspiring. At the same time, it also makes Jack and others feel extremely proud. But soon they realized, according to regulations, this rescue ship can only accommodate 12 people, including the 4 of them. But Jack wants to break the rules this time. He wants to rescue all the crew members, because who is left behind will be a dead end, and the rule is not to refuse to save oneself from death. That half of the cruise ship also slowly silenced in front of everyone's witness. Subsequently, Jack finally got in touch with the guard, and told their superiors the news that they had rescued 32 crew members. This inspires everyone, but I didn't expect that. The storm caused a sudden power outage in the small town. Without the guidance of a lighthouse, Jack without a compass, it's almost impossible to find a heading home. At this point, everyone drive the car to the shore, turn on the lights, trying to light Jack's way home with the headlights, including Jack's girlfriend. And Jack's side is fortunate that he is quite familiar with this sea area. Based on the wind direction, the correct heading can be roughly determined. Next, let everyone pay attention to the lights on the coastline. He can definitely take everyone home. The storm gradually dissipated. The sea has also returned to calm, but the extremely low temperature almost made everyone lose consciousness. In a trance, Jack saw a glimmer of light. That's a light of life. He finally succeeded. Live up to expectations, bringing everyone back safely, not neglecting one's family. Arrive as scheduled. This movie changes based on real events. This maritime rescue, also recognized as the Coast Guard, the miracle of small rescue ships in history,